Howdy folks, well today I'm doing a startup on a John Deere 6155 RH, and the H stands for high crop. And this type of tractor, as you can see, would have many benefits in a lot of different applications, and certainly here in Bundaberg it is for a couple different instances. And today we're looking at a soybean crop just here, and also it will be predominantly working in the sugar industry, doing a lot of spraying. So the beauty of this tractor is it does have quite good under front axle clearance, and a lot of farmers today are looking for that crop clearance so that they can get in and above crop and spray when it needs to. But more importantly, in the cane, we can get over the cane as it's maturing, and we can get in and give it last spraying and get in and control the weeds. So quite a good unit. Ultimately, we have an under axle clearance of 770 millimeters. And the front axle is the lowest point of the tractor. So, but all in all, they certainly make a good tractor for working in these industries, and certainly with the sugar cane. Again, it's a good tool for spraying that cane lates. I'll be on ready. So what we'll do, guys, is we'll do the usual. We'll do sort of daily startups, things to check before we go in field, and I guess certainly we're at the back end of the vehicle, which is just in here, which is your hydraulic and transmission. Now that one reservoir does both. It does, again, hydraulic and transmission. And the ticket or the key to any of it, make sure you always check the hydraulics with the linkage down, because what happens at the moment is it's scavenged a bit of oil out of the sump or out of the reservoir, and it's charged and it's in the hydraulic rams, so therefore you're not getting a true reading or a true indication there. So just always remember to make sure that the linkage is all the way down, and then that way we'll get a true reading and a true indication there. Okay. So we do have other daily greasing. So at the back end here, on your lift rams, you've got your top and your bottom, both sides, left and right. Your levelling, top and bottom, and again in here and just in here. And because they've got that drop hip, some of our models, as you know, have the grease nipple just on the flange there. It's not applicable here with the roll rear axle. So just around this way, gents, we'll So your other daily startup, guys, is your engine oil, just in here. Okay. Your engine oil fill is just in here. While the engine's new, it's on break-in oil. So just keep an eye on it, depending on what it's doing and what application you may need to top it up. But it is a break-in oil. Okay. The other one is, gents, just around here. Is our header tank. Just in here, and that does that coolant. So again, that's just a visual, your minimum and maximum. All your filling is done just up top there. There's a blue cap. So that's your coolant. Other ones at the front here, while we are here too, gents, is we have our screens here, as well as here. We can, and if you just like to put on that side there, we'll is there anyone in it? Oh, yeah. So we can bring that the whole way out. And if we put the wheel on full lock, should you wish, you can actually lift that right out and blow it right out. So it can come right out of there. And then again, that'll expose the complete radiator core at the back there. So air conditioning condenser, transmission cooler. And here we have our dedicated radiator, which does our coolant. And just up the top here is our intercooler. Okay, and we all know too, you've had these a little while now, that our air filters are up just on the top there, and you have your primary and your secondary. So, any questions there so far, guys? And again, it's pretty similar to what you have, and the beauty of it is it's the commonality. So, guys, just at the front here too, with your diesel fuel there is an inline fuel filter. And there's a sediment bowl. And the reason why we put that there is a couple of things. It's a great visual. We can see it every day when we're doing our daily startup and daily inspections, which are our oil and our coolant. And we can just keep an eye on our diesel fuel. Now there is a warning light inside there that will come on in the event that we have contamination. And we'll just touch on that when we go inside there. Just in this area too, gents, we do have our fan, and we do have fan belts. And as you probably know, we're aware, some time ago. We've gone to the flat viscous style fan belt. It's low maintenance, and there is an adjuster in there, and as the belt wears or stretches, the tensioner will take up the slack, and it will take up that little bit of wear. Again, in your visuals, just keep an eye on them. If they go to fray or start to play up, you'll see that. And look, in the full event that you lose a fan belt, your battery light will illuminate up on the dash, and you'll know that straight away the battery's not charging, so you've lost the fan belt. So it's critical, that one. Again, any questions there, gents? Okay, so just while we're going around, just on this side of the tractor, so again, we've discussed our belt. It does the air conditioning compressor, the alternator. The tensioner's just in here, does our water pump. Just in behind you guys, we have some diesel fuel filters and also an engine oil filter, which is also located in there. As you know, in previous models, that was a pop-open arrangement. Now it's bolted, because honestly, over the years, I guess the amount of people that bent and buckle panels, it was quite a few there. So, but if you ever want to know what that one there is, and we occasionally get people ask us what that one there is.
Yes.
So, right. So that is actually a filter on a return to sump, I guess you could call it. So with our engine, the way that it breathes, it goes out of our tapper cover area, and any breathing or any oil, I guess you could say, it goes through like a snail port. There is a filter in there, and any of the residual will go actually return to sump. There is a service interval on that, and it does need to be changed, because again, there is a little filter in the bottom of that baby. So it's located just now. Yeah, very good. So we've got a good owner that knows his stuff. At the front here too, guys, just with the grease nipples, the tire ends, there's nothing to worry about. Kingpin both top and bottom, they're sealed. There's no grease nipples, we don't need to worry about anything there. There's no grease nipples in the unis in there. They're all fully sealed, so your front axle's all good. However, we do have the usual central pivot. Yep. One here. Okay. Now, the shroud here, and a lot of the one, and I'll just point this out, Steve, and I'll get you just to focus in, so if you want to stay there. Just guys, pop around here, and a lot of people don't know that we have one, and I'll probably come in from the bad side there. Sorry. There's one up on the cover, just on the MFD shaft here. And it's located just in here, guys. Yes. Right. And that applies to all your tractors. Okay. Yeah, so it's a bit of a pain to get at, but there is a grease nipple in there, so it's just under there. Again, any questions there, gents?
While we're on greasing, what's all those brackets above your head there? Was that
yes.
Extra?
No, what happened was this thing was, we had to run some different hoses. Because you know how when we got it, it was set up for auto track, and it still is, but we had to put a Raven valve on it to get it to steer. So we changed some plumbing. So there was a couple of lines that we've swapped out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's where they were just routed, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, while we're on greasing, did you point out the top pivot on the 3-point linkage? Do they get greased?
On the rock shaft?
Yeah.
Yeah, just go and have a look at that, because I did have a quick look at that. Again, we'll head that way.
Right up there. You know, the same thickness spot as the 6170.
Is there any on this one?
Oh, yeah, right here.
Yep,
Right
so you got two? Okay,
yeah.
on your rock shaft.
Yeah, I see it. Yep. They're right Fair in front. Not hidden like the 6170.
And they're a daily?
Yep. Give them 2 pumps daily. You can imagine this area, you've got linkage going up that many times a day.
And dirt and dust, yep.
So we just want to try and keep it lubricated and greased, and we want to try and keep all the dust out. Mm-hmm. We don't need to go silly with over pumping or overcompensating, but again, we just need to maintain it. So again, because it's doing a lot of up and down and up and down,
yep.
And you did touch on it, in Australia, it's amongst the worst conditions in the world. The area is very dusty, very dirty, and again, we just want to try and keep everything lubricated there.
Okay.
As you can see nowadays, we do the sandwich style remotes.
Yep.
It's different than we used to do it. So we've changed the way that we've done the remote. So that's a return to sump, that one there. But yeah, that's for your
So this is up there approval for your rate controllers.
Yep. So from here on going forward, your ISO connector just in here, that's where we plug in our rate controlling.
Yep.
So if we do anything there that we want to control, as you know, and put specific application on, it's done through there in conjunction with either, depending on whether it be a dry or a wet rate controller, and the PMW valve as well there. Just
they're already, because the 6170, well, it's going to have all this put on, but yeah, I see this tractor's already got it ready.
Yep. So gents, sorry to be walking backwards and forwards. Just here, we missed out a couple key aspects of the vehicle. So just for your reference, there is a starter terminal just in here because our battery is located just in here now. Okay, so battery is located just in there. We do have a positive jumper lead in the event that we want to start something or vice versa. It's located just in there. And then also too in the same spot we have our front and rear window wiper reservoir. So that's the filling port.
What do you earth your jump leads to?
The earth?
Anywhere in particular, or?
Yeah, well generally, anywhere you can get a, the other models have like a dedicated area, but yeah, it's a positive, so you just got to find an area for your negative. Just while we're working our way around too, guys, you can adjust your lights just in here in the event that you want to, when you're turning into the rows, you can move those up and down. Also our other lights just up in the end of there, those two there are all adjustable. And our mirrors are telescopic, they can come out, and I have adjusted them, but you might need to adjust this one here, still not real good. So gents, we always encourage and certainly tell everyone, when the tractor turns up, it's always on a different wheel increment rather than what most people require or want. So in every instance we have to move our wheels in and out to suit the individual's application. So we do tell the end user or the owner, if you like, to keep an eye on all our wheel bolts and wheel studs. We have done them, we do it properly. We actually torque them up with a 3/4 inch tension wrench. We do 3 settings. We don't air rattle them up and just whatever you get on that setting is what you get, and whatever you get on the next one is what you get. We do it all properly. We've never had wheels or anything fall off, but we do tell you just to keep an eye on your wheel sets. And I'm pretty sure at 100 or 150 hours they do ask you, to nip them up. So again, one of those things. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're out that wide. So, okay. So, any questions outside there? So you've got the 7410. Have you driven that at all? The high crop, the other high crop? I know you would probably.
7510.
7510, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think everyone's good.
Okay. Already good.
So, on the ad blue.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll touch on that. So you add blue tank. Again, it's another filling port if you like. Generally, when I turned it off before, you might have heard a noise. It's actually a dosing pump. So we've turned it off, but as you can imagine, the AdBlue needs to be blended at a rate. And you can imagine John Deere engineers have done that process, but they're about 20 litres. So the consumption rate, I don't have a definitive calculation of what litres of AdBlue to a tank, but again, just top that up. I'll show you on the dash. You have your designated diesel fuel reservoir, and then you have your AdBlue reservoir. So there's two simultaneously side by side. So A, you can police your fuel, and B, your AdBlue. With your seat, I just wanted to make sure that you know all about your adjustments on your seat there. So there are quite a few. So first things first, on the left-hand side here, you have your actual compressor to raise and lower your seat. You also have your lumbar support, or how your back support is. Just working our way through to there. We can set up the seat so we can, I guess, modulate how fast the spring is in the seat, or we can slow it right up. So, okay, and then we have the lock. So we have the forward and back rock, as well as the backwards and forwards rock. Yeah, so the seat gives you a nice and quite a good ride there. And I maintain if you're going to sit in it for a fair period, you want to be comfortable. So happy with that, gents? In conjunction with that, we do have the instructor seat. We register them as a 2-seater, and in the event you're going down the road, you have your seatbelt on, and happy days. So guys, welcome to the console of the tractor. There are a few adjustments on our steering. This one is just in here, and that allows our steering to pivot up and down if you like, and then we can introduce the telescopic component of the tractor, which will give us the height of the steering wheel if you like. So set that up there. The controls on the tractor, if you like, on the left hand side here we have our master indicator switch, high and low beam, as well as the horn. On the right hand side here we have both front and rear windscreen wiper actuation if you like, so both front and rear are actuated from one switch. So one is a twist actuation and the other one is actually move the lever if you like. So that's the way we actuate our front and rear windscreen wiper, and in conjunction with that our water or reservoir that we identified just down the side there is again just on the top there. So working in with that, our left-hand power reverser is just in here. Again, we've all had that on the tractor there, and the transmission is a power quad. It's only a 16-speed, and gents, we're restricted with this particular tractor because it's a high crop. It's only 30k an hour. There's no other variants. We can't tick 38. We can't tick 40. We want to go faster. In John Deere's eyes, high crop, 30k max. So it's set at 30k's. So we don't have ENF ranges on this particular tractor.
Just for Tony's benefit, can you just explain the AdBlue and the fuel gauge?
Yeah, so just on the left hand side here you have your designated diesel fuel tank if you like, so it's got 3 bars, and on the right hand side of that, gents, where it shows a little puffy cloud, and again that's the 3 bars just on the inside there, that's our AdBlue tank or reservoir. Okay. So it's only 20 litre, yep. So you can imagine, you know, with 3 bars on there at the moment, it's potentially probably got, you know, 6 or 7 or 8 litres in it. So, okay, yeah.
So 20 litres last year, a whole tank of diesel,
and probably then some.
Several tanks of diesel.
Yeah, it will be into several.
Okay.
So you'll just see that. And I couldn't give you the definitive ratio on what it is, like diesel fuel per AdBlue rate, because that's a moving target. You know, you might be using it today doing a application, and tomorrow it might be doing something different. So the load on the engine's different, so fuel consumption's different. So, but again, that's where that is, gentlemen. On the right hand side there, we have our temperature. The big left hand dial, if you like, is the tachometer. And our right hand side is our kilometres an hour, and just in conjunction there too, guys, we have our indicators, 4-wheel drive illumination, PDO when it's engaged, and then also too a couple in the middle there which are criticals. There is a greeny bluey coloured information light which may come on in the event that there may be some information available for our techies. And then we have an amber light which is in the middle there, and that's like a caution light, and then we have a stop light, and in the event that that one comes on, that one is something's quite critical with the tractor and we're asking the operator to shut it down. So any questions? That's all good. Okay, so I'll just move that at your road there, guys, so it'll give you a bit better port there. So again, our transmission is a power reverser. It is only a 16-speed. We have our hare and a tortoise to change through our power shift gears once we've elected our ranges. The top button on this one, if you don't know, is called a declutch button. So what we're doing there, gentlemen, is safety first. So when we're changing through our ranges, and for instance if we're in C range, and you can see I have my foot on the foot clutch if you like, or the traditional clutch, we can elect to use our declutch button, and what that will do is that'll actually actuate the same job as our normal or foot clutch, and it will do in such as I've said, and stop the tractor from driving, change the ranges, take your finger off, then we're now in the next range, and then again we can use our other buttons to go through our 1, 2 or 3 up on the dash. So okay. Righto, just working our way around there, gents. Just for your information, so what happens now, and this is a little bit different than what you've had, and it's only come out in this newer tractors, I guess if you'd say, in the R series. So our console here is a little bit different, and then also on the right hand side there we have changed the fan and thermostat and some of the other controllers that we and I never used to have, or we had them integrated into the display, but now they're separately, or they were up on actual analog switches for your aircon. So again, we've integrated it into the right-hand console. So with our hare and tortoise, to change up our gears, John Deere's philosophy is this, that our ergonomics are that we can turn our power takeoff on here. We can also use our thumb to go up and down to change those 4 power shift gears that we spoke about there a moment ago. We can also raise and lower our rear linkage. And now this baby here, or the big thumb dial if you like, is actually setting our depth in the ground. And once we've established our depth, and we're happy with where it is there, all we need to do then, gents, is hit set. And it says our rear hitch depth is set. So what I'm saying is when we go and put an implement on it, and we're cultivating or doing whatever, and you want to go deeper in the ground, we dial that down, and it'll illuminate on here. So as we know, 100 is all the way up, 0 is all the way down. So at 10 I'm almost not far off the bottom. But again, any adjustment you make there and you hit set, that will set your maximum depth, and we'll work from there going up. Okay. A couple others on the side here too, gents. Once we've set our depth and we've hit set, again it will set that. We do have a lock in the event that you want to be safe when you drive down the road, that if you've got an implement on the back for whatever reason, it doesn't come crashing down, so we can lock the linkage. Rear hitch is unlocked. 1 and 2, now they are for the headland management system, and again that's all iTech we call that, so that's for inputting data that we can have presets for linkage going down, PDO coming on. We can go up and select given power shift gears in a range. We can set engine speed, and that's iTech, and that's number 1 and number 2. So number 1 is coming in field, if you like, and then number 2 is when we come out of field. And again, it might raise the linkage then, it might change down gears, it might go from 1900 revs and we might have it set to 1200 revs for turning. So again, that's in conjunction with the iTech. And just in here, so again, this is working with our depth here again, and again we just set that in and hit set. And master raise and lower, PDO, and I will point this out because the auto track's just over here, Clark.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, it's not integrated here.
Oh, okay.
Yep, so it's just here. Okay. With this tractor, guys, we've got 3 sets of rear SCV 450 series. 450 series are our premium remote. And just at the back there where Clarky is, we have all the settings there. So we have constant pumping, we have loader function, and then we have detent, and then we also have flow control. So again, they are colour coded, and it works in conjunction with the colour of the lever or the actuator. So green, blue, and brown, and again green, blue, and brown. And then as we go down to the sandwich style remote inlet, it's colour coded as well. So again, it works in conjunction there. So just in here, so as well as having our constant pumping, loader, and detent, we also have flow control. So that will allow us to have individual flow rates to individual circuits. So we might have 3 different applications there, and again we might have 3 different services happening at different rates and different speeds. All good? Mm-hmm. Okay. Righto, gents, just working across our console here. So this is the 4100 processor, or the 7-inch display. We may have the 8s, which are the 4600, which are the 10-inch display. So this is the smaller one. We are segregating your guidance. So your guidance is standalone on your 1800 display, your GS2 console or display. And again, it's not integrated in here. So this is wholly and solely dedicated to tractor data and information, linkage, everything that pertains to the tractor. And again, your 1800 display is pertinent to your guidance. So it is a touchscreen, so we can go in and by touching on any part that we elect to go to, for instance, like I've just gone under the linkage, so we can touch on our upper limit, and at 100% is we're saying that's our maximum height, and then again we have our range from 100 down to 0, and depending on what we're doing, how we elect to and what height we set with our top linkage control. And being mindful, being a high crop, it's going to be accentuated a lot more because it's a little bit further off the ground. Okay, drop rate, again, depending on what we're doing, we can speed up and slow that control down. Okay, and that's what we're doing when we hit lower, how it places on the ground. your raise rate, and this is something that we don't have the luxury of doing on some other tractor models, is you can actually control the raise rate. So again, you can speed it up and slow it down. And position, it's down here, sorry guys, and position and draft control. So all the way around with the cursor at 0 is in full position control, and as we move the cursor to the right and we start to show the blue furrow disc is actually moving into draft control. So when we get into resistance, it'll actually start drafting. And the further we have the cursor along the line, the more, the more sensitivity we're asking of the tractor. So again, when it becomes under resistance, it will draft. And again, we should maintain our constant ground speed and let the implement draft out the back. Okay. Righto. So again, we do have other ways that we can navigate our way through there. Again, it is a touchscreen, and again, we can go to different components of the display, but we can also manually navigate our way around the console, if you like. So we can go into our engine settings, if you like, and again, we can set cruise control functions on there, and so on and so forth. So we can number 1 and number 2 for our engine speed, our transmission. So soft shift. So what I've done there, guys, is I've just turned the soft shift on. So when you're changing your power shift gears, as it changes the gears, they're a nice shift, not an aggressive shift. So I've just done that. And with our speed matching, guys, when we go from say B, C or D, what happens there is it'll select one of the 4 power shift gears most suited to the ground speed. Okay. Again, our linkage, we've just been in there. iTech, again, you've done a bit with iTech, Clark, haven't you? Yeah. So the iTech part of it is quite a good part of the tractor there, guys. But again, it's probably something that's a bit of training for another day, because it does. You could spend a few hours just on the iTech. And just working our way around here, guys, again, we've got our lights. So we can go in and turn all our lights on and off around the tractor. And again, depending on what we're doing, what application. So the whole idea is there, you might have certain lights on going towards, and for instance, if you're working along a main road, and as you just come up to the end of the road, say the traffic going by, you're not sort of blinding everyone. You can have preset lights on there that if you have like number 1, which is your full light application, if you like, and then as we get to the end of the road or closer to a road, we can turn some of those nasty or very bright lights off, and we can turn around and go back out, and when we get back out safe distance, we can put all the lights back on. And there's also egress agents, so if we're parking in field and we lock her up for the night, it's set at 90 seconds. So what happens, we turn the tractor off, turn the lights off, that'll count down for 90 seconds. So you're in your vehicle driving down the road, happy days, and then the lights will turn off. Okay. Okay, so your air conditioning, which is quite important. So it's done just in here too, guys. Your fan control is done just in here. Your thermostat control again is done in here. And you might remember that the console or controls on previous models are all up and in here, but again, we put them over here. Our music.
Play hockey with the All Blacks Hockey Club.
So we can
great for kids, ladies and men to meet new friends and have fun. All Blacks Hockey Club are looking for senior and junior players. They're family friendly and
make adjustments on the console if you like. And again, that's all done just in there. So I'm sure everyone will have their favourite radio station. And again, it's just all done through here. So hazard lights. Again, our master light switch that we can turn on and off. Our hazard light, main beacon light that we need to have on as we drive down the road is all located on the right hand console. So have you any questions there, guys?
That beacon light's automatic. When you turn the key off, shuts off.
No, it's not. You've manually got to turn it off. Yeah, it's on even if the key's off. So you've physically got to turn it off. So
It's something I've got to remember because I've got a bad habit of leaving the bloody thing on.
So we're all familiar with the displays. I know you've been in other tractors and stuff. You know that you can go in and again we can change a certain part of the screen if you like. You can change the reading, so if it doesn't suit the actual operator, the machine monitor, we can elect what we want in there. So we might put in there ground speed, wheel slip, PDO speed, like that. So again, whatever we put in there, and we elect to put in that part of the box, if it's information that you want as an operator, you can change it to suit the individual. So